Hello, everybody. Uh, Doing a late night post. It is the 7th of March, 2022. And want to make this post because I want to make y'all think. How many of you guys have been to a store and before you get back to your car in the parking lot, you get a hit on your phone of an ad for something that you purchased or a related item? Yeah, I've done that. Being an old guy like myself, we've seen the evolution of the phone from a convenience of rotary phones and the old school phones, being able to communicate for fairly long distances from the wall of your kitchen. I've worked with rotary phones with my grandparents. I had a push button phone. We had phones. We had the phone in the kitchen had a 12-foot extension cord on it. So literally, we could, sit at the dining room table while talking on the kitchen phone. Then we ended up getting AT&T to go ahead and wire us up so we all had phones in our rooms. Made things a little easier. Um, Cellular phones went from big old bag things, look like a duffel bag, to now the phone that I am using right now to record this is more powerful than most computers up till probably the 2000s. Computers in the 90s, you know, weren't even close to what we can do with our cell phones nowadays. Um, but we've traded this ability for a bit of freedom. We went from flip phones to slider phones to Blackberries to smartphones. And as the phone got smarter, we started losing some of our freedoms to data miners. We started adding new and improved stuff that made it a little more convenient, but at the same time, although some things could be considered benevolent, can be weaponized against us. Um, our phones have GPS locators on them. It works great for finding where you're going, but it also allows people to find you by logging onto your GPS coordinates. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, in 1984, the book, The signs, Big Brother's watching you, are everywhere, reminding the citizenships to be good because Big Brother's watching. We don't have Big Brother signs reminding us. We have the little box at the end of our app saying, do you actually concede to the terms and conditions of this proposal? How many of us have actually read that thing? Big old lines of stuff. Well, not I. But I'm going to tell you, it gives up a lot of our freedoms. It allows them to data mine us. Now, what we also have now is we have digital money. Bitcoins are our debit cards. We're losing the freedoms we have with paper money. And you say, why you say that, Big Daddy? Why are we losing freedoms by giving up paper money for digital currency? Well, paper money is accepted pretty much anywhere with no real fees. When we use our debit cards, the bank charges a fee. So here's the question. Why is the bank in favor of digital currency? Well, they're making money off of us with all the fees. But also, how do you think your phone tracks what you just purchased? Through your debit card. So through digital currency, you're now able to buy stuff, but somebody is watching it because obviously you're getting the hit on your cell phone later on with an ad for something you just purchased or something related. So there. Now, I did a video back a couple weeks ago telling you guys that with the social credit score thing is going to basically shut you out of your money for being anything other than what they really want. Right now it's hard to say what they want you to be other than just passive. What happens now that we're getting smart cars? And some of you guys love the shit out of these smart cars. But I'm going to tell you, what was I'm going to age myself now. What was the slogans of the original and cars? It's your freedom. Your ability to get in and go anywhere you want to go. Literally. I mean, if you want to go drive through the mud, you can go drive through the mud. If you don't want to drive through the mud, if you want to just, drive down the street to get you a cold frosty brew, you go get you a cold frosty brew. But let me tell you something, guys. We're on the precipice of these autonomous cars. Okay? Let me throw y'all a scenario here. You wake up one morning and all of a sudden you are locked out of your bank account. And you get a little banner that says you have violated rules and procedures on Facebook. We are now going to cut off your money for a week. That's what Facebook jail is. Facebook jail is a week. Now, all of a sudden, you have no money for a week? Holy shit. So go this a little deeper. You got one of them fancy autonomous cars. Now, not only do you not have any money, but your car won't start. Or whatever you call it whenever you turn on one of them battery cars. Your car won't activate. It's got a little banner that comes up on the screen in the middle of your dash. It says you violated, terms and policies for Facebook. You can't drive for a week. How the hell you gonna get to work? You ain't got no money. You got these smart houses. All of a sudden, you got no power. We got smart meters as it is on our dang light bills, light meters on the back of our houses. All of a sudden, your smart TV gets a big banner across it. It says, your home is now turned off for 1 week for violating terms and procedures of Facebook. Control, guys. Control. As we are giving up our control of our lives to digital stuff, we are now becoming slaves to those machines. We have workforces that are being fired in favor of automation. Car factories that used to employ thousands, or at least hundreds, now do it all with 25. Most of them are IT. We already see control in our social statuses on our phones. You violate terms and policy of Facebook, you're in Facebook jail. I'm on my second strike with YouTube. It's control, guys. When the Great Reset happens, you're giving up control of your money. Cash money. Cash money is freedom, guys. Cash money spins everywhere. And there's no tracking. Modern day vehicles, most of them have low jacks built into them. Especially Chevrolet with the North Star systems. They're tracking us. North Star systems can start your cars remotely. What's going to stop them from turning off your car remotely? When autonomous cars become a thing, y'all remember in Back to the Future 2, hover conversions for the regular cars to fly. What we will have is people will pay to have their favorite vehicle autonomously converted to self-driving. Why? Because it's a fashion. Now, I'm going to tell you this. The more autonomous cars that's on the road is probably going to mean less accidents. It's probably going to be less traffic because you're eliminating the human error. But let me throw this monkey wrench into y'all's mix. How many of y'all been following Google Maps and the damn thing takes you in a circle? I got off of a freeway one time following Google Maps, and literally it had me do the little turnaround underneath the underpass, and then it had me do another turnaround underneath that overpass, and then it had me turn around again on the same overpass that I turned around on, and then it had me turn around one more time, and literally I took my hand and I spread out the map and got a bigger look at it. And like, why am I doing loop-de-loops here whenever I want to get right over there? So I turned the map off and I immediately followed it. Well, I stopped following it and went where I was supposed to go. I have no idea how many more turns it was going to have me do. But after the fourth one, I was tired of it. My daughter has experienced craziness with Google Maps. My wife's experienced Google Maps craziness. What happens when you're in an autonomous car and you end up with one of them glitches? And all of a sudden, you're in a roundabout and you're just sitting there going around and around and around and around and around and around. And you're not paying attention because you're in an autonomous car. You're probably playing, Fortnite on your phone or some bullshit. Or you're reading, a book or something. You're passing the time or whatever you're doing. You're watching YouTube videos. You're not paying attention. All of a sudden now, you're in this glitch, stuck in a roundabout, and you're now 10 minutes late, and your car's just going round and round in circles. And you happen to glance up at your phone's clock. And you're like, well, shit! I only had 7 minutes to get to this place, according to Google Maps. Now, why is it 10 minutes late? Why am I 10 minutes late? And all of a sudden, you scroll back to your map, and you're sitting there thinking, oh, damn, my car's in a freaking glitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, money is freedom. Cars are freedom. Doing things with your hands. Doing things with your mind. It's freedom, guys. Let's go, Brandon.